Traffic Domination Podcast, where entrepreneurs come for traffic answers. And here are your hosts, Rob Reese and Wayne Crow.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Rob Reese here, along with the host with the most, your main host here, Wayne Crow. How's it going, my man?
Wonderful, mate. How are you?
Listen, I'm really annoyed this week. Okay, listen, as big as I get the whole mindset, be positive, this and this and that. There's literally.
Can you hear my dog outside?
Hey, listen. Does he need a Snickers bar? We need to get him a Snickers bar.
He needs a bigger bowl.
but there's a terrible thing in the internet marketing industry that I just got to get off my chest, and then we'll get into our topic for today, which is completely unrelated. But there's this thing that talks. They say you're not supposed to say when something's bad, when a vendor scams you, when a product is literally no good in the marketplace. There's this unwritten rule, and sometimes they make it a written rule. It's like the 10 Commandments or something, where you can't talk bad about a product or service because you're hitting on people's toes, and they couch it in this shroud of make believe thing where they say you're just perpetuating a negative mindset. No, I'm trying to save you from wasting your money. Yeah. That's the positive. I'm trying to help you from A, being a bad promoter, promoting garbage products, and B, for the consumer to not buy garbage. I'm helping you. That is the positive mindset. And they just like, no, here's the real reason people don't want to say when something is bad. It's because you want people to suck your stuff, okay? You want people to kiss your behind, and you want to kiss other people's behinds. I'm not in the business of kissing behinds. I just had to get that out the way.
No, that's fine. I know what you mean, because as you know, like when it comes to internet markets, I'm quite underground. I'm not out in the forefront like some of the big names out there, and a lot of these people make their name by kissing each other's behind, as you put it. But that's not the way I work. I try and make my work speak for itself, if that makes sense. And that negative mindset, that negative mindset you kind of mentioned, that's not a negative mindset. I think it's only negative. Someone promises something and doesn't deliver. I don't think that's being negative or calling people. I think it's just telling the truth, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's not a negative mindset as such. But the trouble is, mate, if you've done that with every product, that's all you'd ever do. Because there's a hell of a lot.
Well, listen. I'm not bagging on any particular person out there. Yeah. However, stop lying to yourself and saying that it just perpetuates a negative mindset, okay? No, you're just afraid somebody's not going to promote you next time around when you're ready to promote something. I may have just written my death sentence, Wayne. Okay?
We can cut this out if you want.
No, I am about the truth, my friend. The truth must be put out front. No, but anyway. Yeah.
I'm quite lucky. I'm not in that kind of, where you got a product and you get people. I don't do that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
it's only in the product launch space. It's only in the product launch space.
Funny place.
And it's just weird. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about, the different niches that you can get into. What in the world is a niche? What do you do to pick it? How do you go about finding out what is good for you? And there are so many different ways that you can go about this. And there is first and foremost, Wayne, can you give us a little bit of a breakdown as to what a niche is?
Yeah.
And then we'll get into peripheral subjects about that.
Yeah, awesome. I can try. So a niche would be something like email marketing, PPC, CPA, product launches. So it's, I don't know how you'd best describe it, but would you describe solo ad as a niche of email list building, list
Well,
building?
I would actually I would use a much
sub-niche?
broader I would use a much broader definition. I would use the definition of niche is a category of space that you can find and fit yourself into in order to monetize it. That's a very broad definition. Now we can go ahead and look at what Google says
Good
the
idea,
word
yeah.
niche is. Okay, the Google defines this as a place or position, okay, of something. This is denoting or relating to products, services, or interests that appeal to a small, specialized section of a population, okay? And they used it in this fashion. Other companies in this space had to adapt to being niche players, okay? Essentially, it's just where you can find yourself in business online. Are you going to do e-commerce? Are you going to do internet marketing? Are you going to be a motivational person? Are you going to be in the sex niche? Marriage niche. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many different categories that you can hit, and then of course there are subcategories that further define a little bit more about what you're going to be an expert in, sort of say.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people, when they get started with building a business, whether that's offline or online, their number one kind of roadblock is, what niche do I get into? Do I get into affiliate marketing? Do I get into strictly email marketing or list building? Do I get into video marketing? Do I get into social media marketing? Do I get into, and the list can go on and on and on. I mean, just go to clickbank.com. Okay, ClickBank is one of the largest info product marketplaces in the world. Okay, as far as I know, they are probably the largest, and there may be some other ones, but for strictly info products, they are quite large. And just look at the categories: arts and entertainment, as seen on TV, betting systems, business and investing. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And then of course you have sub niches under that. You have more laser targeted, categories under each one of those. And the question is, what do you get into? Do you want to get into betting? Well, in the United States, you can't do that. That's more of a European market or a Canadian market. Do you want to get into teaching and doing e-courses on like technologies, on computers, how to build websites, things like that? So the list is endless. And people get stuck right here, and understandably so. Wouldn't you agree, Wayne?
100%. It's probably the biggest place where people actually fail, because most people seem to either go for the first product they're sold, or they go for the thing that they think is going to make them the most money.
Yeah,
from my experience, that's the two things people generally, they don't look at what they enjoy doing, and they don't look at a long-term goal. Where do I want to build my skills? What do I actually want to do? They just go where the money is, or what they're pitched to first.
Yeah,
the best.
One of the things, there is a saying, pick your passion, right? Pick your passion. The problem is, what if your passion sucks? What if there's nobody who's willing to buy into your passion? Okay, I know people who are into I don't know, what's like a, listen, I saw, okay, all right, I saw, now unbelievably, there are a lot of people involved and interested in this niche, but I'm going to use it as an example because for me, this would be something that is absolutely nonsense, but seems to be profitable.
Yeah.
Listen, I saw this video yesterday, okay? Tell me if you've ever seen one of these videos. It was one of these, I don't want to say like a fetish video because I don't watch those types of things, but it can be easily understood. It could be easily understood as one of these videos, okay? It was on YouTube. Oh gosh.
I'm not sure I hear this.
I can't even believe I'm about to describe this, okay? I saw this video on Facebook. That's where it was. It was called like Unbelievable Love. It's an entire series of just really weird love couple situations, okay?
Nice.
Oh gosh. Okay. This like 21-year-old, right? This 21-year-old woman, she's fairly attractive. She loves to do what is known as age regression. Okay.
Okay.
21 years old. She loves to put on diapers, be in like an adult crib, and goo goo gaga and like suck her thumb and like drink a bottle and pee in her diaper. And her boyfriend, of course you would say that. Her boyfriend would pretend to be her daddy and like hold her and like try to burp her and stuff. And bro, I got these people are having hallucinations as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Now she was describing that this has nothing to do with sexual nature or anything like that. Okay, fine. It's not a sexual thing. They don't engage in any sexual behavior when she regresses to be a 1-year-old toddler. However, she describes her YouTube channel where she gets all these sickos who comes on and is saying all of these really crazy, vile things in the comment section. Now, her channel, okay, guess how many subscribers this person would have.
It's gonna be more than you think because controversy. People love it, don't they? And people love sharing it. So,
I've got
no idea. No idea whatsoever.
Listen, she's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Okay, now mind you, this is the spectrum, okay, of people who love her, who are just intrigued about this entire thing, and then people who absolutely think this is sick and they just want to like make comments about how sick it is. Okay. I would probably fall into that category. Okay. but I would never, even though it probably can be monetized quite well, that would not be a niche for me. So focusing purely on money isn't the answer.
No.
Now let's just say like quilting, right? Quilting is probably not the greatest, niche or anything. It's probably little grandmas. Now, there are some new studies that show that people are getting to quilting and stuff, but let's, for argument's sake, say quilting is your thing and it's not very heavily trafficked. You're not going to get, money from quilting, even though it can be the greatest exhilarating thing for you. Just because it's something that you enjoy doesn't necessarily mean it can make money. So you kind of have to find the in between, thing when it comes to niche selection. And I don't know about you, Wayne, about the niche that you're in, solo ads and training and mindset and kind of all of that stuff. That's cool. I like the fact that I could just make money online doing so by showing people different options of how they can make money online. I am extremely excited about that. So I think the best way to really go about it is find something that makes a lot of money, kind of list them out and see what you like. What you like. And don't be afraid to try different things. Gary V, one of my favorite people that I love sometimes and hate sometimes because some of his opinions are just stupid in my opinion. Okay, Gary V, I love you, but if you're listening, he's probably one of our best listeners, Wayne.
He is, yeah.
The way I see it is he said something to the effect of you must find your passion or whatever, and that's completely garbage. Okay, I can make my passion around anything as long as I like it enough, right? Like something enough to where you wouldn't mind learning more about it. And he said, try something until you find something that works. Just keep on trying something until you find something that works. There's no shame in doing that.
Yeah, you did hit on something on the head there, where if it's like solo ads, then it's a funny niche. If I had to choose again, it probably wouldn't be solo ads. But
why?
Just some of the stuff that goes on at you're in our train, you see the things that go on in all these different niches, some of it can be quite depressing, but it's the same in every niche. It all has this democracy and all this kind of stuff, but if you don't love what you're doing, learn to love it. Does that make sense? There's some things, I hate writing emails, which you'd think is completely bizarre for an email marketer, but because it's part of what I do, I love the stats and the figures. That's why I love PPC. I love everything around stats and figures, making small little tweaks and seeing the results, having that little aha moment, because stats and figures equal dollars. That's what I truly love. So email writing to me is something I detest, but I've learned to love it because it gives me the results. So you can learn to love the things you don't like doing as well. And that's what I think a good entrepreneur is good at. Once they learned it, the first thing you outsource for me was the emails. Once I'd mastered the emails, first thing I outsourced was the emails.
Listen, I totally get that position as well. I mean, learn to love it, man. Learn to love it, guys. I mean, because at the end of the day, work is still work, right? You still have to put in effort, and if you're just want to sit on the couch all day long, figure out a way to make money. Listen, my son, all right, he's a freaking genius. Okay, he's a 14-year-old kid who loves to do video games and Twitch and all that stuff that parents don't understand. Luckily, I am in the tech world. I kind of understand it. I just don't care enough about it. I care that he likes it. And you know what he loves to do? Okay, we homeschool our kids. We've got 5 kids. We homeschool all of them. He's like a A student across the board. He's taking college courses as a 14-year-old right now, and the kid loves video games. If he wants to rot his brain away playing video games, he's got to get all the other stuff done first. He's learned to love to do those things he needs to get done in order to get the result he's looking for, which is to play video games. And you know what he's recently doing, Wayne? This kid is now got a Twitch stream where he's making money as an affiliate. Okay. This kid, when I was a kid, I don't know if you've ever heard this from your parents, but it was playing video. Good luck trying to figure out a way to make money playing video games. Get your butt off of that and go read a book. Now he's like, I am trying to make money. I'm learning about all this stuff. Are you kidding me? I would have dreamed. This was a dream when I was a kid to try to make money playing video games.
It's a whole new era, mate. A whole new thing. I mean, same as my son. He's 7. He wants his own YouTube channel. He wants to edit his videos. He wants to. It's a whole new kind of era of a whole new generation. Strange. And we're getting older. That's the scary thing. Now,
Wayne, real quick. So we're on the topic of trying to pick something, right? It's good that if you can find something that you absolutely love to get involved, because the work you do won't seem like work. It'll be fun. Time will fly by fast. Ask yourself some questions when you're considering what niche you should get into, or if you've picked a niche already and you can't stand what you're doing, maybe it's time to reevaluate and ask yourself some of these questions. And Wayne, I'd love to hear maybe some of your thoughts on what questions you can ask yourself. But what do you find yourself doing in your free time, right? If you find yourself doing things in your free time and you can figure out a way to monetize it, that's going to be your best bet, especially if it's a profitable niche. And you can search. There are ways for you to search whether it's profitable or not. What do you look forward to? What do you look forward to doing when you aren't doing it? So if you're like in a 9-to-5 job, besides just getting off of work and going home, what do you find yourself asking yourself? I can't wait to like do that.
There's
what are those things in your mind, right?
Yeah, there's a perfect example of that, of Ollie Matthews, who will be a guest on here in the next few weeks at some point.
Ooh.
His dream was PTing, and now he makes a full-time living. He has done for a while. Not PTing, he's now into mindset stuff, accountability, the entrepreneur's health and he's making very good money. He's got some of the best internet marketers I know of as clients. So kind of he took that exact thing. What does he love doing in his spare time? So he worked in insurance, he hated it, and now he's living the dream, basically living the laptop lifestyle as everyone kind of sells it as.
I hate insurance too. I'm not in. I hate paying for it. I hate paid for it.
Yeah, I'd hate to sell it.
So now that's great, because that's one thing you need to consider, right? Consider, what do you love doing? If there's something that you love doing that nobody else loves doing, figure something else out. And there's plenty of places that you can see what's monetizable, what are topics that you can get involved with, and try to maybe pull in a little bit of what you love into what you're doing. So for your friend that's going to be on this show soon, it was physical therapy. He loved physical therapy. He didn't want to be a gym teacher, but he figured out that entrepreneurs were not the healthiest of people. They kind of live sometimes sedentary lives. A lot of people that are in this business literally are shut-ins. They just stay inside indoors, always behind their computer, and that's terrible for your health. And he brought that in to the entrepreneur business realm. And really that comes to my second point is, Wayne, you should always try to ask yourself, what problem can I solve? What problem can I solve? So the first thing is, what do you like to do? What can you see yourself doing for an inordinate amount of time? What can you repeat over and over again and not get sick of? And what problems can you solve? What does your skill do so great that you can solve somebody's problem?
So adult nappies, for example.
Listen. Oh gosh, I can't believe I saw this video.
I can't believe you said
it. I had a hard time describing it in a family-friendly way. Okay.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But she, let's just take that for example. Let's just break that down. Okay. Now, whether you agree or disagree with whatever she's doing, right? She found a niche to where people, and I should give a caveat about her situation. She did experience trauma when she was a child. She was abused when she was a child. And she said that it's helping her kind of get back time that she wished she had when she was a child, of innocence and things like that. I still think it's wacko. And certainly I hate the fact that she was abused. But what she did was she tapped into a market of abuse, right? People who have suffered really horrendous things, and she's at least trying to redeem it in some way, shape, or form by providing an outlet for her or people who are like her to really exercise a little bit of freedom, a little bit of recapturing the time when they were little. And she found this really strange kind of pocket to where she fit, and it solved a problem. It gave other people an idea of how they may be able to kind of overcome the abuse they had when she was little. And if you can apply that principle to whatever it is that you're, engaging in. For me, I'm engaged in affiliate marketing, working from home. That's my niche, make money online.
Yeah.
Where I try to find people who can't stand what they're currently doing, working 8 to 5, working for a boss, how to be their own boss and how to make a living from home instead of having to commute to a work, instead of having to deal with a overbearing boss. So I play to those, to that audience. And while that's a broad audience, it allows me to then trickle down and find out a little bit more about the people who are involved, and kind of looking at yourself, look at yourself and kind of break down, reverse engineer your own personality and see what these people are trying to escape, see what type of problems they're trying to solve. Are you trying to have more time with your kids, so on and so forth. What are, maybe Wayne, you can jump in here, and what are some ways people can actually identify problems to solve?
So, for example, look, I'll just jump in there. This is exactly why we made traffic domination. When the big problem that everyone who comes on to make money online has is generating traffic, especially enough of it for the right price that converts well. Long term, that's the kind of key problem that I identify. There's no one out there that really teaches it that well.
Sure.
So
yeah.
And that's like, this is what I love doing, let's get it out there. So you I think when you love what you do, you just do it anyway, don't you? When you kind of just love what you're doing. So I can't see myself doing anything else for the rest of my life apart from sitting here. So I had this dream, I don't know where it come from, of being like a guy in the Matrix, maybe, where he's got the computer screen and all that. That's how I envisaged internet marketing. It's not quite like that, but that was kind of where I wanted to be. So sometimes it's worth kind of looking at your goals, where you want to head to. Look at your goals, thinking, I want to be with my kids more, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then thinking, how can I turn my hobby into a way of monetizing? I mean, online, obviously there's loads of ways to monetize offline, but online, so one of the perfect ways could be, so we were talking about quilting or something earlier, it could be blogging about it and using AdSense. So that could be a perfect way. Pretty much any niche can be kind of monetized like that, with a blog, with AdSense, over enough time, that'll start happening over time, making sure you get the keyword, all the things right that you're meant to get right. So you got to love it enough so it takes you through all the times. I mean, don't get me wrong, there will be times when you hate what you're doing, no matter how much you love it. But that's the same again, online and offline. I've rabbited on a bit there, man. I've gone a bit off track.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'll rein you back in. I'll rein you back in here, my friend. Okay. I'm gonna lasso you real quick. All right. Let's see. All right. So back to what we were talking. How can one identify problems? So I'm talking about, like, okay, maybe I ask my neighbor a question about a particular problem that they're having, and whether or not it's something that would, does the thing that I'm trying to do solve any particular problem, and getting them to kind of release to me this information, or even research, what kind of research somebody can do to find out whether or not that their solution actually solves a problem. How does somebody find whether or not their solution will solve a problem?
So this is slightly a different take on that, because I don't go into something, think, how can I solve that problem, or how can a new person goes in. Once you're kind of in your niche, so let's say you want to shoot YouTube videos, that's what you love doing, you love editing YouTube videos, and what happens is, as you start getting used to it, you start shooting videos, and you start in the beginning just shooting how I set up these YouTube videos, what I use to edit with, and then as time goes on, you find out that people have these problems, you find out that you have these problems. Do you see what I mean? So you have the problems and you're looking for an answer. So a lot of the times that means there's more people looking for the answer to that. So you simply make a video on the solution you found, and that means normally there's loads of other people out there looking for that same solution that you've found the answer to. So I don't look at it like that. I couldn't look at it like that from the beginning when I started. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, you might be able to, because you kind of you know the problems that people that make money online, that niche, what they have, whereas I work with a kind of slightly more experienced audience, maybe.
Sure. And you know what? I really like your thought on that, because what it allows you to do is it actually allows the individual looking to get started to actually get started and find out these things as they go along, instead of having to amass a whole bunch of new information and then apply it and maybe be even overloaded with information. They just start with little things. Okay, you know what? I just want to shoot a video. I'm going to go and I'm going to kind of figure out what the issues are along the way. I'm going to research those very problems and then apply them to however I can in my business, which I really think is pretty cool. You know, another way that you can really find out whether or not your solution will be of benefit to others is, you know, peruse online forums, check out Q&A sites like Quora. Quora is a great place to actually do amazing research. Just type in whatever your keywords are and just start reading some of the things, and people will give you boatloads of information that you're looking for. You know, you can also do keyword research. There are plenty of tools out there for that. But really, what this all leads to, Wayne, what this all really leads to is when you're figuring out what niche you want to get into, when you're trying to figure out what problems you can solve, do you have any competition? You know, is there competition out there for what you're doing? And what can you do in order to make it better? You know, because Wayne, you run a really successful solo ad, you know, training business and solo ad business in of itself. Why don't you kind of give me and our audience a little bit of information on how you approached the competition and what you did in order to really carve out you being the guy that people should go to rather than, you know, XYZ solo ads?
Yeah. So this is a big subject, but I'll cut it down. So the first thing, when you said about competition, a lot of people see competition as a bad thing. It's not. That it just proves there's a market, which is fantastic. So if there's competition there already,
it's good.
It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So you've got to look how you can do things differently. So luckily online, you've got to think most people online are new, not just to business, but to a lot of things. They're kind of, like you said earlier, they want to sit at home in their man cave, such as I do, and they don't want to step outside their comfort zone. Okay, so they don't want to pick up the phone and speak to people. They don't want to go to events and network with people. So already, just by picking up the phone and speaking to people, puts me in the top 90% of solo ad vendors, which is nuts. Does that make sense? So by speaking to people and networking with these people and just opening up a route of communication so they get to know my skill level by speaking to me, you know, chatting, getting to know me, getting to like me, getting to trust me. I go to a lot of events, so I meet these people. I've probably only ever met another 2 to 3 solo ad vendors at these events. So other solo ad vendors or traffic people don't go to these events. I give so much value. I mean, the free guide we're giving away on solo ads, I know the value in there is massive. I know that's huge value. So I give away loads of value. I help a lot of people without, you know, just through the willingness of wanting to help people. And I have kind of forged ahead in the industry, if that makes sense. So I sit here and work my butt off and people can see the result of the work. And obviously in other niches, that's going to be very different, because a lot of people they won't need to be out there. if that makes sense. So that's why I started online marketing, is I didn't need to be out there, but I've got other goals now outside everything else I do. My camera. Yeah, so my camera just went all blurry.
You still look pretty. You still look pretty, even you're blurred. It's all right.
No, thanks, mate. Cheers. Where were we? Yeah, so if you're doing something like PPC, for example, you don't need to get out there. But let's say your long-term goal was to coach people. Okay, yeah. So to get in your out of your comfort zone, where you don't like, you know, you want to coach people, but you don't feel you've got any value to give. From the very beginning, you can just start putting out videos. What is a keyword? Okay, it might seem the most basic thing, and probably one of the first things you learn, but 99% of the world population probably don't know what a keyword is. So you're already teaching from the very beginning. You're building that kind of, you've broke that fear. So by the time you become a coach, which is what you want to do long term, you're already given the value, got the traction, you've beaten all your fears, and you know, all these videos are gaining traffic, so you haven't really got to reinvent the wheel and start all over again. So it's just a case of giving, I think the biggest thing you can do, give as much value as possible is the biggest thing you can do in everything you do, every single thing you do. So and find out a completely different angle that other people don't look at. The thing with solo ads is the traffic's very same, so I try and make my traffic different, and I teach that to students. So we teach all the different traffic methods you can think of to make theirs different as well, and that gives, you know, I'm giving them tons of value, which means they get they see me as a good coach, if that makes sense. They refer their friends to me, and that's how it's kind of snowballed from there. I don't advertise. Do you see what I mean? I don't advertise. I've never advertised my coaching services.
Yeah, I mean, I know exactly what your business is doing in terms of how much value you're providing your clients, and you know, the types of numbers that you guys are running. And I've never seen a single ad in that sense of, you know, of solo ad business and all of this stuff. It's all the relationships that you guys are building, as opposed to, you know, these websites that are just kind of scammy, spammy, cheap traffic that won't get you anywhere, but it gives people clicks, thinking that that's, you know, that's what they need, when you're providing an actual service that provides actual value and people are coming back to you over and over again. You guys absolutely do a phenomenal job. Now, I know we're running low on time, and we're giving so much gold on this episode, my man. I really hate that we are going so long, but we need to get into these last two pieces, and then we're going to go ahead and call it quits for the day. But Wayne, the last two that I wanted to touch on was really determining, and this one is quick, determine how profitable your niche actually is. On whether or not it's worth it to you. We kind of touched on that when talking about picking your niche, but you got to make sure that this is something that's going to actually bring you in money. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting a ton of time. And it's very easy to see whether or not your niche is profitable. See if people are purchasing already in this niche. See how much money is running through this niche. You can ask other business owners, you know, is this something that you've been doing quite well at? And, you know, some people won't give you information. Some people will. You can go to Q&A sources. You can go to forums. You can go to all sorts of places and see the types, the numbers that people are actually doing. If there's tons of traffic, there's money to be made there. If they're all 90-year-old convalescent home people, there's probably no money in it. But determine whether or not it's going to be profitable for you. But the last and main portion here is make sure that what you're doing works. Okay, testing your idea. If there's already a proven record of what's going on out there, you know the general idea works. But if your spin, like you said, Wayne, you're a different angle on it. If there's a way for you to test it, certainly. When I did my product, okay, my spin on my product was affiliate marketing, but not having to touch a single paid piece of tool or software or traffic. Most places tell you get hosting, get a domain name, get a link tracker, get all these things, right? And I'm like, okay, those work, those are great, but once I've paid the money to get into the course, I wanted to make sure that the course was all I ever needed. Now you can buy all those other things, but I wanted to make sure that the information that I provided was, this course is literally all you need, period.
Yeah, wow.
No additional software, no additional traffic needed to be paid for, nothing. And what I did was I tested out my idea. I said, all I'm going to do is use free traffic, free websites, free everything, and see if this works. Lo and behold, it worked. And I was able to test it over and over again, and it worked. I was able to put this in the hands of other people to do beta testing, and it worked. So make sure that when you come up with an idea and an angle, make sure the thing works.
Yeah.
Don't be like the douche, like I said in the beginning of the program, where you put stuff out, it doesn't work, and then you complain when somebody complains about it publicly. All right. Wink, 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 Wayne. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that? On testing ideas?
Testing ideas. 100%. Always test. I mean, the thing that I think I'm good at is taking action, testing everything. That's what I like doing. So
that should be a new tagline.
Test everything.
Test everything. What, how did you say it? I already lost it.
We'll have to look back.
Try everything, test everything. Try everything, test everything, or something like that.
Yeah, I like that. Keep testing everything, and just be aware of other people's angles as well. Their angles is to sell people looking for a niche, so they may be trying to pull you into a niche that doesn't really work. So really do your research. Really go heavy on the research.
Research is key. This is going to really be the biggest place for you to get started if you're a brand new entrepreneur or somebody who's just not have had much luck over a course of time. If you've gotten into it and things are just not working, is doing your proper research. I know that I got into this business, Wayne, and it was a headache for the first couple of months. And I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
It is for most people.
4 months in, not making a single penny, buying all sorts of different things, and finally made my first sale, and it was 50 cents. I've talked about that on this program before. Yeah. But listen, guys, hit it. Keep going at it, because you only have this one chance to do stuff like this in this life, right? You only have this chance to do stuff like this. You know what? If you've got to work and you've got to put some time in, even though you've got a family, carve out some of that time and try to build something for yourself, especially if there's a passion within you about this stuff. Don't give up. Don't give up so easily, because what is that? How does that saying go, Wayne? Nothing in this life worth it is free, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So fight for it. If things are easy, then it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
When you get it,
pressing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
When you get it, like I'm in my view living the dream, but you still have to fight for it. But it's a much more enjoyable fight, if that makes sense. So that fight in the beginning, where it takes a month or a year or 2 years, as it does some people, whatever it takes, just do it, because it is worth it in the end. It is worth it.
Absolutely. Now, I'm telling you guys, this show is gold. All right, golden. All right, you need to put this one on repeat, because we gave you all sorts of golden nuggets absolutely free of charge. Wayne, you've got a gift for the audience. Why don't you tell everyone what that gift is, that freebie gift?
We've got tons of free gifts, but I think the one you're talking about is the solo ads guide that we've
That's right.
Yeah, that we're giving away. This is for buyers and sellers. Sellers, if you get customers that don't have a good run, you're selling traffic to, they why didn't this happen, why didn't that happen? You can give them this guide. Buyers, you're going to want this guide. If you buy solo ads and you want them to work the best for you, you want to have that relationship with a seller, and you really want the best at solo ads, you need this guide. It's fantastic. It's a lot of effort and a lot of experience gone into this guide.
You know, before I got involved with the traffic domination team, I dealt with some of your people, and let me tell you, the best people to deal with in the industry is from your team, Traffic Domination. Highly, highly recommended. Absolutely free solo ad guides for you, whether you're a seller or a buyer. This is for you. And of course, I've got a special gift for you guys. If you guys are just starting out, I put together a very free, no opt-in required case study on how I went from zero to nearly $400 in just under 3 days, all utilizing free traffic. About 300 of that $400 was profit. So I put that together in a nice video format with some of the emails that I sent out, along with all of the stats and, of course, all of the posts I made on social media. I show you exactly what I did over the course of 3 days to generate that online. And it's very simple, guys. Freebie for you. No opt-in required. So you don't need to give an email address or anything. Go ahead and get that in the description below. But guys, thank you so much for listening. It was always a pleasure. Don't be like that young lady putting on diapers when you're 21 years old and playing Goo Goo Gaga. This is Rob Reese, along with your host, Wayne Crow, the man of the hour. We will see you guys next time.
Take care. Bye-bye.